Hello and welcome to Big Storm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Trevor Scott, and with me is Ben Slinger, live from PAX.
Live from PAX, and this is officially our episode
300. Pop all the streamers, all that sort of stuff.
The podcast accountants have finally let us release it.
Finally, we've released episode 300, and we've got three wonderful guests.
300 wonderful guests.
300 wonderful guests, all jammed in this booth.
Yes. I expect
guests.
you to come up with different voices for each one of them. No, we have the Inconsolables. So we have Andrew.
Hi.
We have Sammy.
Hello.
And we have the wonderful Mrs. L.
Hi.
Thanks for coming on. It's been a long time since we've had you guys on here.
It's been way too long. Thanks for having us.
It's been so long since I've
It-
seen
it's-
your
it's been
beautiful faces in person.
It's just
know.
taken that long for everyone to recover.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's been a tough few years. You know.
Yes.
The last 150 episodes have been horrible.
I think he was just referencing to the last time we were on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been
Poor
about
Sammy.
150
I think I
episodes.
was,
or so.
Yeah.
yeah.
when you just, were like completely
Finish
demoralizing.
Goblin.
Yeah,
Sure.
what is it? Yeah.
We'll link that in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, callbacks.
Callbacks.
Our
Callbacks are
listeners,
welcome.
our listeners stick very close, like they remember everything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
better than
The
us.
full law.
Just check the wiki.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what we're going to play is we're going to play a game called Click Pitch.
Ooh.
And Click Pitch is a game where we each, Ben and I have a random word generator. We're going to throw those words at our guests and ourselves, come up with a game design, and then when it doesn't work, we'll keep it going.
Excellent.
And
We
then
already...
we pitch to Sony, maybe?
Well,
they're not here.
So it's
Ah,
Sega, I guess. Like
Oh,
they're the only ones who will.
Yeah.
Sega.
Devolver.
Oh,
actually,
Devolver.
that's probably more
I mean,
our
yeah.
style.
There we go.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you're going to get in with anyone, it's going to be Devolver.
Yeah, okay, 3, 2, 1, click.
Let's do it. Director.
Widower.
Widower
Okay.
director.
Is this like we're directing the snuff film for a
Oh,
Sammy.
Sammy.
Get straight into it.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, we could go dark content.
I mean, we could go very dark content, but we do have people listening outside the
Yeah.
booth right
That's
now.
Yes.
Recorded
Hello,
here
children.
at the wonderful Audio Technica booth. I should have said that straight up. Like,
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
everyone.
Audio Technica. This is amazing.
Oh my god!
What you set up.
You can almost not even tell that there's thousands and thousands of people outside.
Going, where's Sony, where's Nintendo, where's Microsoft, and then leaving.
So,
No, they come
Okay,
to
so-
Audio-Technica.
Widower, director.
So when I heard those, it's very common at the moment, especially like these farming sims where some bad thing happened in their life and they're like, oh, I'm just going to retire out to the country and
Ooh, yes.
just have this simple life. So maybe this director in Hollywood, his partner died, and he's very sad. And let's make him gay because why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
His husband dies,
Bonus
and he's
points.
very sad, and he moves out to the country.
I like that. So is he starting like a local like film industry? He's kickstarting that film industry. So instead of farming, he's like finding talent in the town, coming up with
Growing
movie
new
ideas.
talent.
What if he just creates a drama school for kids?
Oh my god.
Yep. Okay. And so we're like,
I mean, we started dark, and I'm going real wholesome.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
great. That's
I love it.
fine.
It's like
Swing
the
Stardew
pendulum.
Valley, but it's all about the star part of it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you're trying to build up the stars. Like
Yeah, I like that. So are we building out the school? Is this sort of like a tycoon type game where you're like placing down all your classrooms and you're hiring teachers and things then? And then maybe bringing in the town-based element of
Yep.
going out and, scouting for talent and...
Yep, and bringing
Bringing in the cream of the crop. I'm just
Yeah.
here to make fun.
But then, at night,
Ooh, okay.
They go have a nap.
and it's like a Dumbledore's army sort of thing, of which you're training up your future stars to also do stage combat, but with real weapons.
So we're talking about monsters. Are we talking about like mythical creature monsters, or are we talking about like the people from LA come over and try and take advantage of the system?
I mean, they are monsters. So
Yeah.
it-
Yeah.
Sort of LA zombies.
LA
Yeah.
zombies,
Something
alright.
like that.
But you do to have some kind of combat, and I've seen it in another game. You just throw insults at each other.
Oh, okay.
So
I could see that.
it's like a rap battle, but like theatre style.
I mean, I think that's
Theatre
how,
rap battle.
that sort of combat would go in a theatre school. Like, it's like,
Yeah, and it's pretty much
devastate
insult
each other
sword
the most.
fighting, but
Yeah.
Devastate each other the most with the worst insults.
yeah.
Oh
like
my
it.
God.
Yeah, that's cool.
I really, really like this game. What are we seeing as the graphical art style like?
I mean, I'm definitely picturing just the classic Stardew Valley-esque,
Pixely
low,
art.
pixel art, retro,
Yeah,
modern retro sort of style.
modern retro, but obviously being able to build out. Very much a Unity game.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that vibe, but I also like the idea of like almost like 5-year-old crayon drawings as all the characters.
That's kind of fun.
That is kind of-
Especially if
Playing
it's
into the
actually kids.
wholesome.
Is it actually children that you're training up and then sending out to fight LA zombies?
So,
that.
Child actor recruiter simulator.
Oh, yeah.
so
It's a metaphor for
Going
Hollywood
dark
in
again.
general.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why you're trying to prevent the LA monsters from taking
Yeah.
them over, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
you don't end up with
Trying to keep them in,
trying to
keep
keep
their
them
innocence.
sane.
Yeah.
You use the mind control devices, and it's a video game in which you're fighting the LA monsters. In
there
a
were-
fictional game.
for those at home, there were a lot of air quotes.
You think I had air quotes? Couldn't hear the air quotes?
Yeah.
One of the things that I would like to see is in the fighting scenes, yes, we've got the insults and all that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
but there are finishes, and it's like the ultra put down, but then it gets
Ooh.
ultra gory.
Yeah.
They just
Fatality.
blood
They-
starts
they-
coming
they-
out their
they
ears.
explode.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because I think
completely devastated.
It's emotion juice.
And if the kids don't succeed, they turn into LA zombies.
Oh, yeah. You lose them. So you might
So it's
have
like
have
permadeath.
trained them up, over the whole game so far, and then you lose your best actor.
They lose their heart.
or they can drop some propaganda, and it's like, do you want to make money? Call this number, and you gotta like sort of police and
really
make sure.
Like,
predatory. Yeah.
Like the stress mechanic in Darkest Dungeon, if they get too stressed, then they just flip to the other side.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
They
I love
lose
it.
their heart and they become like a dark imp thing. Oh wait, no, that's Kingdom Hearts. I think.
I like the idea of like as the very last twist at the end, you were the monster all along.
Dun, dun, dun.
You were keeping them from the safeness of LA,
Yeah, so
and
that-
they were really nurturing and actually.
Yeah, so the LA zombies were
Jan.
actually trying to stop you from taking over the town.
The LA zombies are just child protection services. That's all it was.
All right, well, let's 3, 2, 1, click, I reckon.
Sure.
Moving on.
Not even clicking, you're touching.
Yeah, well, it counts.
Push the button.
Saber.
cuddling.
Cuddling Saber. Oh, my.
How do...
I believe that's called Boyfriend Dungeon.
It's already been made.
It's already been made down.
I do kind of like the idea of like a fluffy sword, like maybe it's around the style, and I'm almost thinking
Captain Feathersword. Like it's.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
okay.
We all
Cuddly
love a
Saber.
good Captain Feathersword.
Captain
There
Feathersword,
must
but like the
have
dark
been
reboot.
Wiggles tie-in
Yeah.
games by now.
I mean, I'm surprised that there's not like all these different platformer games of the Wiggles that you can
Yeah.
play Captain Feathersword.
Yeah.
Fighting
What-
on the seven seas.
Who
and
does Captain Feathersword like impale with that saber of his?
Dorothy?
No, he tickles.
Oh, he tickles.
He tickles and then-
Yeah. The feather sword is for tickling
Tickling.
in a non-sexual way.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely
Stop.
100%.
Stop.
Yes, for sure. So
what-
Tickle Fight Simulator then.
Well-
And you have like all of your weaponry are just like feathers, and instead of just a tickle fight where
Okay,
you're just going
okay.
with your fingers,
Okay.
you're going with like a
We're,
feather
ex-
pole
we're
arm or a
expanding his
sword.
armory of
Expand his armory.
tickle weapons.
Yeah.
Go
Oh,
on.
it's a Metroidvania in which you get different.
There you go.
You get different weapons. So you start off with the tickle sword. That's obviously your main way of tickling.
Yeah.
But for those giant, like I'm talking Shadow of the Colossus, like
Yeah,
style.
well, you need like a saber of some, or like
Yeah.
a spear of some sort, like a
Yeah,
tickle spear
it's like-
to hit their weak
Yeah.
spots.
You got a grapple tickle that
Yes.
you can like
Yeah.
You need
shoot
one of
apart
those
distances.
extendo poles.
The
Yeah.
sword has
Yeah.
to be called the tickler.
Yeah.
It's just the
yes.
tickler, yeah.
Yeah.
The French
Yeah.
tickler.
But as
God.
one of the boss fights has to be like 4 or 5 sorority girls having a pillow fight.
So the feathers are just going everywhere.
Look at me like that.
This is very much Wiggles content, I think.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
right on
yeah.
brand.
It's right on brand.
They can even
They're
be
all
wearing
fully
like
clothed.
They're the different
pajamas.
colours. They've got the different. They've got the Wiggle coloured pajamas.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're
and
wearing the merch.
I think in all the different worlds, so there's each of the Wiggles have actually been captured,
Oh.
and Captain Feathersword is coming
He's
to.
got to go and save.
Yeah, and then
everybody.
of course you've got Henry the Octopus as well, who's
Yep.
Right, so
who's
you've got
potentially,
so you've got
like-
you've got the underwater level, you've got the prehistoric Dorothy the dinosaur level.
Yeah. Well, she does tea parties, so it would be like a garden party level.
Ooh,
Okay.
a dark garden party because
Yeah.
it's
Like-
been corrupted.
Yeah,
Alice in
Alice in
Wonderland.
Wonderland,
Yeah. That vibe.
It's all
else?
twisted.
Who else is on the Wiggles? I don't. My kid's a pastor now.
I mean, wake up, Jeff.
But he-
I mean,
oh well, you've got a
That's
dream
dream
level.
level. Dream
Maybe
level.
that's the tutorial.
Dream
Oh,
level.
that also
Yeah.
works. Yeah. I like that.
I mean,
as
there's
well.
also like 7 Wiggles now.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that.
There's
a
the
lot.
backup crew.
So I mean DLC then,
Yeah.
as we need to extend it.
Live service game.
yeah, a live service
More and more
Wiggles game in which you're
Live
playing
service.
Captain Feathersword.
Yeah.
You have your array of feathery.
I'll
Implements.
one-up you on this.
Okay.
Definitely.
It's a rhythm fighter. So you have to tickle to the
Okay.
music.
tickle to the beat.
Oh yeah,
and
because
the music is the Wiggles.
Oh,
We don't want that mute. I mean,
Well, I mean, now
do
we're
we
kinda
want their
getting
music?
into licensing.
That's licensing. I think.
oh yeah.
we-
Up until this point, it was just off-brand Wiggles.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not Jeff with a J, it's Jeff with a G. Completely different.
So it's Geff.
Yeah. Anthony.
Wake
instead of
up,
Anthony.
Geff.
Geoff.
Geff, Tony.
We've got Doralai the dinosaur.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Doris the dinosaur.
Doris the dinosaur.
But it's like
Dolores?
it's Captain Feathersaber.
The octopus.
Yes.
Captain Feathersaber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how does that change the mechanics of the
And
sword
It's still a
versus
sword.
And
No,
Harold
it's
the
just more
octopus.
specific.
Okay. So I said Metroidvania before,
Yeah.
and I love the idea of having to tickle certain points with this Feathersaber.
Does he get a tickle pistol, like a flintlock or something?
Yes.
Tickle pistol. It just shoots out feathery
It,
bullets.
it's just feathers.
It's just like bang.
What
but
else
There's
can
like
you tickle?
a little feather on
It's
the end
like the
of
bang on a
yeah, like
the Joker style.
Calgar likes using his fists in games. So do you just
Okay.
get
Or
like
feather gauntlets.
Felt
yeah,
knuckles.
felt,
Felt knuckles.
felt knuckles, and you just wiggle the fingers, do the tickly do.
So you're just leaving people writhing on the floor laughing in
Yeah.
your wake
Well,
as
yes.
you
I mean, I feel like some of the time that'll work, but then if you have one that's like near like one of those like spike pits or something, you tickle them, they fall over backwards, and then it's just like all gory. It's like, oh,
it's just
Oh,
super
no.
bloody.
so
sorry.
for the
There's
most
your Mortal
part.
Kombat finisher.
Oh yeah, but for the most part, I think because all of this is because all this is very much non-violent. It's all tickling. So it's all about they've been overcome with like a magical sadness. So if you can use tickle to get them happy, but then there's sometimes that they can't be saved. Like they're too sad, so they
Yeah.
end up being pushed into
so
a
you have to
pit.
get them some
Yeah.
antidepressants.
Also, we should be clear that everyone is consenting to the touch
Yes.
beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are they all like
And-
grayscale until you tickle them and then their colour comes
Oh,
back?
I do like that. Oh,
Either that, or they're or it's more in the texture, that they're shiny almost before, and as you tickle them, like all the felt, like the fluffiness comes back to them, perhaps, rather than going the color out.
And then we don't have to worry about copyright infringement on like the same colors or anything. Perfect.
Yeah.
This is very good.
Yeah.
This is very good.
Just use different hex colours, it's fine.
Yeah, just off by one.
Very slightly similar.
Just a little off.
okay. I think we'll leave that.
Yeah. I think that's
Very-
a pretty
very-
well fleshed out game. Call us, Devolver.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, very off-brand Wiggles, Metroidvania at
And
all.
we made it not
waggles.
sexual.
The waggles.
The waggles.
Oh yeah, there's Wags the dog.
Oh
There you
yeah,
go.
So we can call him Bags the dog.
We call him Wigs the dog.
he just wears all these different wigs.
I bagged the dog.
Okay,
3, 2, 1, click.
3, 2, 1, click.
You go first. This time.
Magnetics.
duo.
And that's magnetics with an S.
Okay, so there's more than
There's
one
more than one
magnetic.
metic.
Magnets, how do they work?
Yeah.
It's magic.
Nice.
Oh my god, are you playing as the Insane Clown Posse?
Yes.
Two of them. Because it's just a duo.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
insane, the
It's a duo.
insane clown duo.
Well, the Insane Clown posses, there are two of them.
Ooh.
Two posses fighting off against each
Is
other.
So-
this
Sing
like
Star versus.
Is this like a flip world where you have like one world and the other world, and what
Oh
you
my
do,
god,
they follow each
they
other,
have
and it's
black
Got the
faces but
insane
with
clown
white
posse
stuff.
on top, and then like the sane businessmen group.
The same CEOs.
And at one stage, they flip.
They
Like-
flip, and you just got guys in briefcases with the makeup.
Well, yeah, so
I
if
think there's a
they're-
mind swap. Like,
So you've just got
Yeah.
the clowns in the businessmen suits
Yes.
with their briefcases.
I
Not
mean-
knowing how magnets work.
Not knowing.
Yeah.
And
That's the
making
goal
music,
of the game.
I think,
the
right?
goal of the game is to find how magnets work.
So it's set in
The
like-
scientific expedition.
A scientific
said a couple of
expedition
100
to-
years ago.
And they literally just don't know how they work. It's like, let's find out.
You
So-
never find out. That's,
they're
that's
like-
the
No.
twist.
We
You
need to
never
rally
find out.
people behind this
because
song.
they don't actually trust the scientific method. So
No,
Yeah.
so Insane Clone Posse somehow get a time machine, go back in time to find out how magnets work.
They go
they
back
don't
in
know-
time to stop magnets from being invented.
so they don't have to know.
against God.
These goddamn fucking magnets.
Somehow they make a time machine
It's-
without science.
Yeah,
And without
they don't know.
magnets,
yes.
They don't know how magnets work, but they do know how time travel works.
Yeah.
I mean, of
Yeah,
course,
of
they're the
course.
insane clown ones.
Pretty sure you need like magnets to make the time machine work.
It turns out you
Are
don't.
you a scientist?
That's how they got it to work, because it's got nothing to do with magnetics.
Yeah, they just use the power of their clown.
In,
Power of their clown. That is a phrase and a half.
They've just got a bunch of magnets and a hammer, and they're just hitting them. And at one point, they just go back in back in time, just like
Grinding up magnets.
I don't know.
Or the Insane Clone Posse are now the Power Rangers.
Yes.
Creature Monthly.
I think we're moving on. From that.
I just want to ask if the Insane Clown Posse is like white face with like black eyes and stuff. Does that mean the inverse are like the smart business people? Their faces are painted black with white eyes.
No.
no,
No.
No.
because it's
Shutting it
inverted
down.
colours.
No blackface.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on!
true.
I'd specifically phrased it around that.
All right.
Footwear.
Footwear. Espionage.
Ooh.
See, sneaker.
I mean,
I'll just put that
was
there.
an indie game
Yeah.
a few years ago with a sneaker that would just walk around.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wondering if this is more about like gearing up for stealth, and you've got your different footwear that you might need.
Ooh, you got to do recon on what surfaces.
It's all about the surfaces.
Well, all I can think of is like sneaking into some high-ranking official's room and sneaking in a pair of shoes that were on a crime scene somewhere to frame them. Maybe start a war.
It's like a
Like an
hitman, but
assassination
you're not
or
trying to
something.
kill anyone. You're just trying to frame them.
Yeah,
Inception
trying to
like.
frame or implicate or start political stuff by like, oh no, you were here at this place. The dirt on your shoes was from this particular.
Well, so it's less about the noise it'll make on the surfaces and more about fitting in. You need to know that, well, if you're at this high level, you need shoes that are at least this expensive.
Important question: can these shoes that we're trying to sneak in be like tap dancing shoes?
Yes.
I mean, that's definitely an option.
Well,
I mean, if you're trying
mean-
to sneak into a tap dancing show,
Yeah.
and then you need to tap at the same time as well. to
Exactly.
master
Rhythm
the
game.
Ah, we got a rhythm game.
Well, I like.
Yeah.
Well, I
We've got
like.
a rhythm game level.
Yeah.
One level.
Mini game.
Well, because I kind of like the idea that throughout the course of the game, you're seeing the tap shoes there as an option. And it's like, why would I ever use this? It's going to completely stand out wherever I'm going. And then finally, you get that mission of breaking
Well,
into
before
the
that,
dance
you
school.
get the hit person. One of his things is he loves tap dancing. He goes to school at the
it's
end of
more
it
about just their own passion.
on a Tuesday night at 8:00. Like that's what he goes and does.
So
and
he's
then,
like this big, burly, muscular, tattooed biker dude that fucking loves tap dancing
Oh, yes.
outside.
Definitely, yes.
Well, I love the energy, though, of, like, if you're doing the tap dance and stuff, you have to time everything perfectly. So, like, you have to be standing stationary the entire time, and then, like, the fountain goes off, and you're like... Dee-lee-lee-lee.
Well,
I have to tap along to any background noise.
I'm
yeah.
thinking at one
Water
stage, you know,
drops.
you get to a point where you're like, okay, B to shuffle, Y to do kickball change, and then you got like it's just like shuffle, kickball change, shuffle, kickball change.
Well,
and
because
it's like,
presumably, wouldn't that like shift your rotations and stuff as well? Maybe around
Potentially.
the
Like-
particular type of move. As you go around a corner, you have to like use the right step to.
Yeah, to shift or change around the
Yeah.
corner.
Maybe you
Give
have, like, a Assassin's Creed kind of, like, hidden blade in the shoot. It's like, did it. Kickball change, grab him, just, like, hold
Kickball
him,
stab,
do
kickball
can.
stab.
Just, like, keep going. Just don't make it obvious.
I mean, I kind of love the idea of this is how he takes down his victims.
I-
Like, if we were going more of like a hitman type thing, he tap dances down the street and it's like, kapow, kapow.
True, I kind of feel like we have found the better gameplay here of just smoothly tap dancing and assassinating people on the way without
like-
breaking.
Can you
step.
put a gun in his shoe?
Yes.
of course you can.
What a
Well,
sort of
okay,
question
maybe
is
let
that?
me rephrase that. Can you put a gun in a shoe in a way that lets you shoot the gun and not just making it very hard to put on the shoe?
Have you not played Bayonetta?
Maybe there's a specific like, so you have your combos on your moves. So if you do like kickball change, it will shoot off 2 bullets. But if you do a shuffle, ball change, it's a rocket launcher. Like every
That wouldn't be
like
terribly
every
subtle, though.
combo.
I think we've maybe
Or
moved
like
away
poison
from
darts.
subtlety.
Yeah.
This feels
Yeah.
more like
It's-
just
it's more just footwear
landed
at this
in-
point.
Never just landed
Yeah.
in like tap dancing Doom.
Yeah.
Rhythmic assassination.
I like the title.
Tap dancing Doom.
Tap dancing
You are in
Doom.
hell. You are killing demons with your tap dancing
Yeah.
powers.
And he has to have a really tassely shirt,
Yeah, definitely.
like
Perfect.
shimmies.
Oh
Some
yeah,
great,
I
like,
mean, that's just
Secondary
Yeah,
motion there
yeah.
in the physics.
Yeah, you have like the fembots.
And then
Tassel.
Yeah.
Nipple tassels.
yeah, you can get DLC where it's just him in hot pants with nipple tassels.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
know.
Once you've unlocked all the moves.
Diversity.
With little
Yeah.
razor blades on the end.
Yeah, but the
That's part of-
secret tech of all this is like in the credits is like sponsored by Nike.
What?
I mean,
Sorry.
I'm sure they must make
one of the things I have noticed here, like with a lot of the indie games, is they do have like here's all these like mini games and that sort of stuff, and then end of the day they come home and they've got like a narrative bit.
Yeah.
Like I'm imagining that he's like going through either a breakup or he's going through
Yeah.
something
Some sort of
in his-
dramatic
some sort of
arc,
dramatic thing,
yeah.
and it's all very mundane sort
Yeah.
of stuff that he's going through. And then he goes out and takes that out on the next group. Like he gets a bonus depending on what
Yeah.
what just happened.
Oh my god.
And
So
I think,
choices matter on how his mood affects his
I mean,
dancing.
you could literally turn this into like a roguelike. Like it could actually be fun to. The next bonus that you get is okay. He went on a date. He's feeling really, really good about himself, and so you get a boon based on how he's feeling, and then
Yeah.
Well, and then
You got a spring in your step.
yeah,
Get
exactly.
get a plus
literal
five.
spring though. Then.
Yes, yes.
So you can jump higher.
Get a bonus jump.
Yeah.
You can use it in one room, but you got to make sure it's got a high enough ceiling. Otherwise, you just
Yeah.
hit
Bonk
that,
in your head.
that like
Yeah.
suspended ceiling,
Yeah.
and then that stuff's just gonna break.
Important question. When you're doing all the mundane stuff, do you have the tap shoes on? Like, are we going to be
No.
like,
I
think-
oh man, I've got to make some breakfast?
Yeah,
Just-
I think it's very much like the Dead Rising sort of thing, like the cutscenes where you're just wearing whatever crazy crap you were decked out in previously.
yeah, the system works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kickball change, butter the toast.
For some reason, you turn up at like your first date and you're wearing a gimp suit. It's like you probably shouldn't have chosen that as your as your
depends
A
on
pre-
little
the
bit
date.
forward.
It's like, unfortunately, I got kicked out of the building. I didn't have time to get changed, and I just came straight to this. And
Yeah, you
and
just explained, I'm sorry, it's a cutscene, like I couldn't help it. I can't, there's no way to change between.
No.
They don't give me the screen. Oh, sweet to England.
And on that
This could go a couple of ways, either licensed
Right.
or not. Sonics.
extermination.
I mean,
So
Sounds like a good idea.
so the next game in the series, we've got Sonic Unleashed, and next is Sonic Extermination.
Well, that's Frontiers over there.
Oh, yeah.
Mario and Sonic at the
final
Olympic
frontier.
Games. Mario's doing skeet shooting. Sonic is the clay pigeon.
Oh, is this the Olympic Games in Nazi Germany? Is that why?
Wow.
No, you went there. That's no.
No dear.
So is this like evil? Sonic has gone.
Oh,
Because
Shadow.
is he still
Yeah.
is he still saving little animals that are trapped in robots? Like, is that still Sonic's
know.
thing, or have we moved beyond that? Because
I
I
thought
think
he
the
was
last
just into
Sonic game I
chili
finished
dogs.
was like Sonic 2 on Mega Drive.
He's
Seems
very,
to like-
he's very concerned with small animals, but he really likes eating chili dogs. So I don't know. Sends a bit of a mixed message.
Yeah.
Could
Maybe
be
they're toasted on.
plant-based.
Yeah, it could be.
man.
I mean, it's kind of insane that Mario went a certain way with how he did all his games, went, and made some critically acclaimed games, and Sonic didn't do that.
Yeah,
like
so close.
So now, for it to be Sonic Extermination, like this is. Maybe he goes around and kills all the game devs that ruined the previous.
Very meta.
Maybe this is Sonic, an off-license game, a fan-made game of Sonic just getting revenge on all the people that picked on him over the years.
I feel like what I know
done.
of Sonic fan-based stuff, we don't want to go too far, too deep on that because.
Oh yes, yeah.
Can
Yeah,
we just
we-
get maybe like a deep fake where we just take Sonic and put him into Terminator?
I mean, I'd like to see that.
Or let's reskip him in Resident Evil.
This is a completely independent video game idea that we have.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's continue.
seems legit. That's a bit.
What are you seeing, Ben?
Creaking.
Abode.
Oh, a creaking abode. Okay, this is very horror.
Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, horror
Wow,
game
yeah.
of some
Yep,
sort.
you can tell that I'm not into horror because my brain went in a completely different direction.
Oh, I can take a
I
wild
think I
guess.
know where that went.
Okay, no. Okay, I want to hear this because
Tell the children
It's
what you're
a
thinking.
brothel management system.
There we go.
You build your empire of consenting sex workers.
Yeah, and I mean the creaking obviously
Yeah.
speaks for itself.
Yeah, it
The more
does.
creaking the house does at the end of the day,
the more
the more
money
money
comes
comes
out.
out.
Right.
Like that's
But
how it
That's
shakes
your score.
out.
But here's the
basically.
thing: the more creaking that there is, the more it's going to get damaged.
Yeah.
So you have to manage having enough creaking that you're turning a profit without
But not
destroying
bringing
the
down the
brothel.
house.
So,
Yeah.
so
Hey.
how you manage that is through ghostly scares.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we're mixing.
Alright,
two.
alright.
You
It's
mix
a haunted brothel.
It's a haunted brothel. Yeah, there we go.
because
Alright.
that's the way that we've decided
My
to take this
brain
game.
went. Sure.
I mean, some people are into the haunting. Don't yuck their yum.
No,
Yeah, some people want a
They
third
like to
party
be watched.
involved,
Or a third party.
or someone wants to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. Again,
All right.
Consent
So,
up front,
so
yeah.
the theme of this is that you have a spectral, like you're a spectral voyeur.
Oh,
you
so you're
just
not
like
okay.
play the
So
ghosts.
you know the ghosts are watching. So
It's more of a
Wait.
narrative thing where you're trying to.
Wait, so
Have
you
you got
human
unfinished
or are you a
business in this
ghost?
brothel?
Wait, so are we?
I was here and I never finished.
I have unfinished business. Oh dear.
you have to show me a really good show so I can move on.
Unfinished Business is the title of the game.
Oh my god.
Unfinished business. I love it. Sorry.
oh my god,
Okay.
that's so good.
Oh, wow.
You asked for this.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm laughing my butt off.
Yeah.
Flooding,
Coward.
flooding, and coward.
Flooding. What? So you?
Running away from the flood.
Well,
Yeah.
I was thinking more that you were so nervous that you're flooding yourself.
Oh.
Yeah, flooding your own basement, as it were.
That's one way to word it.
Should we go down the Pee Your Pants simulator or no?
Is he-
Yeah.
No.
Are you just like brave Sir Robin? You just run.
Run away.
I mean, this could just be an escaping, the perils of climate change, things are flooding. Is it sort of a journey-based game? Not the game journey, but just like you're on a journey escaping the floods, like coming inland.
And this is a
What if
fictional
you were a
game?
penguin? Or like a
yes.
polar bear or something trying to escape.
See, that feels
Global
less
warming.
depressing than just saying, like, global warming is happening and we're going to run away from
It
it.
seems less depressing for the penguins to have to escape their homeland.
I mean, I was just more thinking, like, this literally just sounds like me just thinking by myself in an enclosed room, just like, I've got to escape the climate. Oh,
But
no.
I mean, you could do some interesting environmental puzzles with flooding as a major mechanic, though,
that's
right?
true.
And part of it is like, you know, the more time you take, the puzzle might get easier because some of the things you need start floating,
But then you have to do that last bit like quicker because you
don't have the time. Yeah, so you can
that's
kind
cool.
of balance between a more complex puzzle where you've got to move stuff around, but then as you're running out of time, you can't move it around anymore, but things like more logs and stuff start floating, so you've got more to work with.
Yeah. That's a fun
really cool.
balance for that sort of mechanic.
It's a fun mechanic. Can we extend it to, like, other... The entire planet, like...
Yeah.
Waterworld, yay.
That's the end.
No,
game.
it's Wind Waker, come on. Like, there's still going to be
But I
those
mean, you
little
could-
tufts of land.
I mean, regardless, yeah, you could
Fire
pull it out of
temple.
just flooding, though. Like, yeah, you can start with the flooding stuff and deal with other disasters as you go. Like
Yeah.
earthquakes are now cracking things up, and now you've got more things you need to move. So
Yeah, I
you can
feel like
avoid
a
falling
very
into
disaster
holes.
movie feel, but
Yeah.
with polar bears and penguins.
But the animals know that there is like an ark, a spaceship,
Oh,
and that's where they're
oh.
trying to get to escape. Like,
And what is
maybe
your
some-
character
The
there?
humans.
well,
have,
you play the animals.
yeah, the humans
And the
have built this.
The humans
space
gone.
And a
ship
plumber.
arc. Well, I
And
think
a
they've
plumber.
built it, and you have
You-
to come and like.
Yeah.
You're like, you did this. We get to escape.
Yeah.
So you come and
Yeah,
take
so
over.
you go
the-
and
Can
the
they
ship.
can they at least be
humans
helped
and
by a friendly plumber who deals with water a lot?
We've already
Mario
done Sonic.
teaches
His name's Sonic,
conservation.
right?
Yeah.
You could call him Florio.
No, his name is Christian. Christian, because I'm not going with Chris Pratt. Close enough.
Yeah.
3 to 1
Yeah.
click.
Yeah.
Mario teaches environmentalism.
It's not loading.
Oh, it's not loading.
Not loading. Okay, what's the other
That-
word?
that's a
Give
that's
me
a
2
good
words.
Okay, laser
laser not loading.
prerequisite.
Laser prerequisite.
Okay.
Only those with lasers may enter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
BYO
And
laser
So
sniper
BYO
game.
laser, you need to build your laser so that you may enter the building to begin the actual game.
Well, it's kind of like how Jedi build their lightsabers. Like, if you
Yeah.
actually have a little mechanic, like a whole system where you've got your workbench and you're building your laser, you're putting it together in different ways.
What if the entire game was like a tutorial for like building the laser, and then you do that, and then it's like, okay, that's the game. Goodbye.
You get to do like one little target shooting thing, and then
Yeah.
That's
Is this
us
Mythbusters?
testing that your laser works, and then
But,
I mean,
but literally, the
well-
whole game is set around going out and collecting the ingredients for this laser.
Yeah.
And it's like, as soon as
The
you build
different
it, it's like,
crystals.
wow, this is going to be so good.
And it takes 2
It's like,
hours and 1 minute.
yeah.
What if,
so
What
you
if-
can't refund it on stage.
what if this
Yeah.
laser is like if we're going into like catastrophic things? What if this laser will like shoot into the meteorite that's coming?
Oh, so instead of like a personal like laser pistol or something,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
building a massive, like
Laser.
destroy
the
the
laser
I mean,
is
it-
save
literally
the
going to
world.
cut this asteroid in half. Like,
It could just be a laser pointer, but it's just a really, really weak
Well, that's, you
asteroid.
start with the laser pointer. It's all about powering up that laser pointer.
I was thinking the other way around. You're building the laser to blow up the world, and you're the supervillain.
Oh, okay.
It depends
Well,
on
the
it depends on whether you decide to flip the switch to point it down or not.
Yeah.
You don't know. You don't decide until the very last scene
Yeah.
whether you're the superhero or the supervillain.
You have a
Yeah.
You have no
You have a
idea.
morality system that sits very much in the grey.
But you can't see it, and your actions during the game changes it. You can't see it; it's behind the scenes.
I mean,
So
I
how do you
like-
get these pieces? Do you steal them? Do you barter for them? Do you ask for them? Do you
You
pay
help
for them?
people out
Wait.
to get them in return.
Wait, so does
yeah.
that mean that we're potentially leading into a scenario where you're doing all these really great things, you're donating to charity and only getting free range laser parts, and then you blow up the Earth, and it's like, well, you're sort of evil. I mean, you did all these nice things,
You helped
but you
everyone
did
out
destroy
on
the
Earth
Earth.
before killing them.
Mixed bag, really.
Okay, so how big does this laser end up being? Like,
Yeah,
Observatory size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we take over an observatory.
I think Death Laser is the
Laser.
right size
Yeah.
we're looking at.
I guess instead of pointing down, there's two ways to destroy the asteroid. There's one where you can obliterate it and just have a shower, or there's one where you can slice it in half so you
And-
get two, so maximum destruction.
But if you do it too early, it just goes past Earth. It's like, oh.
that's your speed run strat.
Speed runs get punished.
No, speedruns
Well, no,
literally cut in half
speedrun-
and just...
It misses the Earth
fun.
entirely, yeah.
So to speedrun, the good ending is actually you just speedrun the bad ending. And,
Ooh, yeah.
But
And-
to speedrun the bad ending, you have to actually wait that extra little bit of time. That 2 hours and 1 minute.
Yeah. Perfect. I do love the idea of it just being a laser pointer, but because you have the observatory, you just shine it through the telescope. It's like, oh, it's supercharged. And if you want to do the reverse, you just have to climb on top of the observatory and do it the other way
Point it
around.
back around.
Perfect.
It's super concentrated into
Yeah,
one
into one
fine point.
It's science. Magnets,
Pixel.
I don't know.
But
how do they work?
We've come back around.
Is yours working now, Ben?
It is, yes. It's
Good.
working.
Very good.
3 to 1 click.
Possessive.
Therapy.
Oh,
Possessive therapy.
so it's like a demon that possesses you to make you
Oh.
think nice things about yourself. Come on.
I like that idea of a ghostly or a demonic therapist who just possesses you,
And makes you do good things for other people.
or at least just
Yeah.
makes you sort of experience things slightly differently to give you some perspective or something.
Or it just makes you do runs and
Satan's
stuff.
most scorned, lover is they break up and they're like, no, fuck you, I'm gonna go do good things. I'm gonna go donate to charity. I'm gonna turn all these Satanists against you and make them do nice things.
Performing therapy on evil people on Earth
And cultists
to turn
and stuff.
them good.
So it's the anti-cult game.
Yeah. Yeah, you're freeing people from the cults.
You're freeing people from cults, or if you're trying to do the most good possible, you go by possessing, I don't know, some billionaire, pick one, anyone really, and then just get them
Turn him
to
into a philanthropist.
Exactly.
Well, just have them pay their damn taxes. That'd be
Well,
enough.
start with that, but then you can move on and do
yeah.
more.
Yeah. That's almost your end game, is once you get those sorts of resources behind you. Yeah.
Maybe you need to rank up your possession skills or your persuasion
You
therapy
start with,
skills. So you got to start with random.
frazzled 30-year-old mums.
Yeah.
Start with them.
The
And
Start a
most
little-
evil of all.
Look, Karen.
yeah, no, you start with the
you
Karen
start with
stuff.
Karens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
there you go.
And then work yourself up through the ranks.
Middle
The hierarchy.
managers.
Middle management.
Yeah.
Then you have the demons trying to possess other people and
To come
Oh, yeah,
against
get
you.
counteract your.
Yeah, they're trying to undo your work.
But you can't leave someone until you've solved at least one of their internal problems.
Because
Is
you
this
know
the
once
plot of Balan Wonderworld?
I hope so.
Something like that? I
I don't know. Ask Zach.
Yeah. yeah.
All right, I think we're coming to the end. We might have time for not loading it.
Not loading
He
again.
broke it.
we could just go back to unfinished business.
I mean,
like
one
that.
of the words now is just broken. There you go.
Broken.
Broken.
Coal.
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 I mean, it is pretty broken. Dang
some coal,
fossil fuels.
I know, we've done some climate change stuff already. Yeah.
What about steampunk London?
Okay. Yeah.
No way.
Yep.
Because that coal thinks of coal trains.
Yeah.
Ooh, I do like a good steampunk
Coal
sort of
mining.
game.
Or something about a train. I like that. Like a broken train that you're trying to fix up to.
It's
escape
broken, but it
somewhere
hasn't.
or
It's broken, but it hasn't stopped, and you're trying to repair it so that you don't
on the go.
Yeah.
It
repair it
can't
on the go.
stop.
You're in another
Where's
train
the
snow piercer?
nearby.
Slow down.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah, can't stop, won't stop. But you're trying to repair it so it
you can
stops.
sit up in a little loop.
You can set yourself in a loop.
You have
And
to
then,
quickly
you know-
put the brake, construct the brake, attach it, and pull it.
Yeah, and
like
then
so
there's
This
like
mental image of like the cartoon where you got the dude on the front just laying the tracks.
and then you get to a crossroads and some puppies and some children and you're going to choose which side.
Oh, yes.
And
Let's
if
leave
you're
a
smart,
problem
you
in the
just
game.
split the train.
Split the train in half so you
Split the
get
train
both of
so you
them.
can get both.
So you can
I do kind
combo.
of like this idea though of having to manage your speed almost. Like maybe as you're going past stuff, if you've slowed down enough, you can like quickly trade with them to get different stuff. But that means you have to use up one of your brakes. Like something like you said, you attach the
Mini
brake,
brakes.
pull it on, but
yeah.
it gets worn. It's like a
Wears out.
one-use thing to slow
Yeah.
you down a certain amount.
Just this great mental image of someone hanging off the back of the thing, just grabbing a thing off someone at a station, just
Yes.
so you can like
Well,
a
they
wrench or
have-
something,
Just
just
They
grab
had
it.
those bags, right?
Yeah, like
Oh,
the
yeah,
mail
yeah.
bags.
Just like
Yeah.
grab one of those
Yeah.
as you go by, and
It's it's like a survival
you've got
game, but
tools
instead of
too.
like thirst and hunger, you've got like brakes.
Yeah.
And like your wheels are still functional.
And you got coal too, because the more you feed the coal, the faster you go.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You
yeah.
stoke the fires.
Yes.
And
If
sometimes
you
you've got to
wanna go
make
faster.
more coal, so you're cutting down trees and getting them, and you're getting them into like the
Just have them beat
pressure cooker basically, so
Yeah.
you can
You're
pressure.
putting a dinosaur in a headlock. It's like, bring coal already.
Yeah, shit it out.
like compress under lots of pressure, and that's what you
And
know.
then you make
if you go too,
diamond.
if you
Work
go
harder,
too
work
far,
harder.
if you go too far, you make
somebody,
a diamond.
Yeah, you got somebody there just yelling at the tree. Like,
Yeah, just to give them that pressure.
You know,
Petrify
immense-
faster.
No, but I do like this idea of sort of a survival thing where you've almost got a map where you're just constantly going around and you can choose which sort of paths
Yeah.
to go down because it's like, oh, I need to go to the coal mine to get more coal.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to head that way. Maybe you have to you have to radio ahead so that they do have them there hanging on the thing as you go past, but you have to be going the right speed or something.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and it's like tipping out, and if you go too fast,
Oh,
it,
yeah.
it spills out everywhere. So
Yeah.
you got to try and slow down.
So it's
But
definitely
then-
one of those things that I want to see.
Yeah.
You're hanging out your arm out the side of the train, and then you got to bring it in if another train comes by because you don't want to lose your arm.
Yeah.
So there's like this mini game of picking out the mail.
Well, that's another one of your resources is just your staff, and if they lose an arm, then they're useless now.
Well, no, you can fashion like a nice.
Oh, a
Fashion them
steampunk-
into
a
some
steampunk-
coal.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Turn into coal.
just have to
damn it.
use some resources to
You have to
smelter
use
down
resources to
your
fetch
metals.
people.
Yeah, for sure.
Or turn them into coal.
yeah, my idea around the turning wood into coal. Sure, that's not going to happen, but you can still use that as a extra propellant.
But you
for
could
the
deliver,
train
because it
if
could
you
be
need
that
to.
each area needs things that you can deliver to
Yeah.
them then as well. You could have a bit of an economy going on.
Because I'm imagining putting a chainsaw at the side of the. and, like, cutting them down is like, okay.
That's pretty
fall-
good.
fall
And
in-
then
For the lumber mill.
There's
yeah.
like a grabby
In-
hand cart
yeah.
with
Well, that's it, because you could be
Well, the
building
collector
out
at the
more
back.
as you go. Like
Yeah.
your progression is adding more, carriages essentially to your train that all have all these different uses.
You may have like the chainsaw carriage, but then you put the tree catcher too far back, so it didn't actually catch the log as
Yeah,
it
well,
fell.
yeah. There's position based functionality
Yeah.
essentially between the different types of carriages.
And the only way to change it is you have to launch a carriage off
Yes,
into it.
I was thinking exactly that. I think as you go past an area, you can detach some, but you can't just detach them from the middle, right? You have to take them all off the back.
Off the back,
have them,
and-
and then if you want to
And the train's
reuse them,
still
you have to
going.
somehow reconfigure and have them come back on.
I mean,
know,
you could detach from the middle. It's just you lose everything from that
from that point
carriage
backwards.
backwards.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you've got a balance between, okay, look, am I willing to lose these things because I placed this in the wrong spot?
Yes, yeah.
Or do I just play with it? And
That's a
figure
fun
out?
mechanic, actually, of really having to balance, where you're placing things, what you're building when. That's cool.
Yeah, how crazy things can actually get, and how long can you actually have your character?
That's it. I think if you
infinite.
Infinite.
I think infinite. As
Like
long
that
as
snake bus game.
As long as you can, but you need more. But you need more coal, right? Like the heavier, the more you're pulling,
And the less
more coal
effective
you
the
need.
brakes will be.
Exactly. Yes. You're working with momentum and stuff.
So, I think one of the carriages, even though this is steampunk, it needs to be anti-grav. So it actually,
Maybe.
Well-
it has steam jets.
Yeah.
steam jets pushing off, but
Jetpack.
well,
Like
that
hover.
would actually still, because it's pushing down, it will still weigh the same.
Well,
which is-
fine.
Because I was thinking about,
Magic.
if it had a negative weight, that it could actually lift up some of the other ones.
Well, you have
really
no. It's a
loud,
balloon
like-
then.
That
You have,
also
you have
works.
balloons attached,
So you just
and
have
you're
a
pumping the
dirigible.
steam. You're pumping the hot air up into it.
Yeah.
We just have a dirigible carriage.
Yeah, it's still attached. It sort of just lifts the back of your train up as it comes along.
The back carriages are just.
I mean, it's another thing you have to balance. You actually can't put too many balloons on, or you just off the track completely and,
And then
But
you
float
also
off
just
into the
end up in
distance.
space.
Yeah.
Speedrun strats.
Yeah, you can just skip entire sections as long as you burst your balloon.
It depends
Come
on
back down.
whether you're good at actually
Well, I
coming in
mean-
for a land.
Do you have to
burst the
land in
balloon,
on
it
a
explodes.
rail?
Yeah, well, I mean, then you're dealing with explosions for sure.
I love this game so much. Like,
Yeah.
so obviously some 3D stuff, but are we thinking Unreal or Unity for this? Like,
Why not VR?
no,
No, I don't think it's VR.
not for this.
The only way it could work in VR is if it's like a god view and you're like grabbing carriages and
I know
attaching
because we played Dredge yesterday. Like, I'm seeing that sort of.
I think
you're
that like
behind the train.
stylization.
You can sort of
Works
in
well.
your storage. You've literally got. You can
I
go
think you
back
can switch to
between-
a side view to see
Yep,
to see
sure.
your whole train.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily the whole train. But
Well, depending
a
on
section of
yeah,
carriages.
you can move along it.
What about just first person? So it's just you have absolutely no idea what the hell's going on behind
You
you.
just have to run through the train
It's
in
like a
first person.
co-op
That could be
thing.
fun, actually.
A co-op thing, maybe.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it's a co-op
Ooh,
game.
Four-player co-op.
Running around this train
Yeah, it's
Someone's
like
first person.
Overcooked,
in charge
except a
of
bit more
one
morbid.
and someone's in charge of the other.
and having to go to the end of the train to like either detach carriages at a certain point or build new ones.
I mean, this is kind of like Snowpiercer,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
actually like in a really
Except more
vibrant,
whimsical.
like
Actually fun.
Okay.
That's depressing.
Harsh.
Not as depressing.
and not as wintry. Like I'm thinking
Sun
lush.
piercer.
I mean, it depends
I
how
mean,
long you
how
keep your
many
train
balloons
going,
do we
right?
have?
You go through all the seasons.
Oh, you could.
How many balloons do we have?
I mean,
We
I think
can- that
it
we-
depends on your
99
materials.
Float all the way into the sun. That's how it ends.
That's,
Well,
the,
that's-
that's
That's
your
how you
end
get
goal.
sun
That's the
Pierce
goal.
the sun.
The-
Hug the sun.
Hug the sun. yeah,
Raise the
exactly.
sun.
Sure.
Yeah.
For the listeners, we're praising the sun.
Yeah.
Yes,
better be.
because Andrew over here is actually dressed.
As solaire.
Yes.
There you go.
How are we going? Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. All right.
Awesome. So
Oh, wow.
that does
The
bring us to
producers
the,
are trying to
Wow.
stop.
the podcast producers have said that we have reached the end of
CEO.
episode 300.
Amazing. We finally got here.
We finally got here.
Well done.
Officially.
So,
Yes.
yeah, thank
This
you
is
everyone
madness.
for listening. Thank you, Inconsolables, for joining us.
Thank you,
welcome.
Audio Technica, for having this amazing booth.
I think
Absolutely.
it came up with some really
Thanks to
good
anyone
games.
listening
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
And if you want to find the rest of our episodes, go to podchaser.com/bitstorm and have a listen. There's 300 plus there. As
Yes.
of now, you know.
And would the Inconsolables like to let everyone know where they can be found?
Yes.
And you can find us anywhere you can find podcasts, really. Podchaser is a good option as well for just Inconsolables and Inconsolables podcast or Inconsolables AU on Twitter.
Check us out.
Fantastic. So, I've been Trevor.
I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Andrew.
I believe I'm Sam.
And I'm the magnificent Mrs. Rolante.
And
together.
that is.
We're high
it
five.
This
for-
is
We actually have
This
five.
is Sparta.
We have 5 people now. Together we're high five. Okay.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4. High five!
Yay.
Yeah, we're getting all the kid IPs today.
God.
The waggles.
Good.